Welcome to Raised On Rebellion podcast. This episode we are talking about self-worth. So if you didn't have self-worth growing up, or you don't have self-worth now, this would be a good one to listen to. Or if you are rebuilding it, because not everyone gets encouraged and told that they're great and worthy. So this is worthy and self-worth. And I'm not talking about Instagram, social media worthy, because that's all fake, isn't it? And just because you've got loads of followers or zero followers doesn't make any difference. We're all worthy and we're all equal. And some other things I want to say. So I think people put a lot of value on self-worth in terms of material possessions. And someone with a luxury designer handbag or a really expensive house doesn't make them any more worthy than someone that has nothing. Like, we're all completely worthy. We're all equals. So please remember that. It doesn't, people with material possessions they're not better than anyone else. In fact, I know some people that are really wealthy that are awful. And I know some really poor people that are super kind and amazing people. So that's a big one. Don't buy into the material concept and what society preaches to us. That I think the undertone is, if you don't have a nice car and a big house and stacks of cash in the bank, that you're not a good person or that you're not worthy. And that's just total bullshit. You are. Everyone's completely worthy. So just let that one sit. I definitely wasn't told that I was worthy growing up at all. So I get it, and let's rebuild that. And self-worth isn't an outside job, it's an inside job. So you have to do the work, and you have to rebuild. So it's a quiet authority. Like, self-worth isn't loud. It's just it's secure, it's safe. It's not abandoning yourself to please other people. It's not abandoning yourself through pressure. It's saying no. It kind of comes into that boundary stuff as well I covered last week. Self-worth is not confidence, and it's not loud. Like, self-worth isn't loud. Like, someone with self-worth is like, I don't want to do that. Or, I don't need to go to the party to kind of feel like I'm a good person or I'm popular. They're cool sitting home with their cat. Self-worth is doing what's best for you, basically. Self-worth isn't success. It's not money. It's not followers. It's not validation. Right, self-worth is not confidence. It's not being loud. So it's not being chosen by someone else. That's not self-worth. It's not how much you fix or give. Like, that's got nothing to do with your self-worth either. So if self-worth is external, I would have had it years ago. I had achievement, but I didn't have safety. So, have a think about that one. So self-worth gets broken. Here's a few points. So, if you can resonate with this, keep listening. So, this is where it gets broken. So, growing up without consistent safety or emotional support. So, learning that love, performance, compliance, survival. So that's broken self-worth. Becoming hyper independent because no one's coming to save you. So it's almost like you're just in survival mode. You don't actually know about worthiness, or it's almost like you don't have time to be worthy almost. You don't have time to be grounded because you're just out there fighting fires in survival mode. Being rewarded for resilience but never protected. So that's the difference of knowing you're worthy is kind of saying no to things when they sound really great, but you're like, no, it's not. So some other examples, being valued for what you produce, not who you are. That's a really good one. So you're great, you're really good at drawing, rather than I love you as a person. You're amazing, right? So when you grow up with having to survive, you don't really ask, am I worthy? You ask, how do I not get left behind? So that's quite a good one. I can definitely align with that one. The lie many people live with is a core belief that I'll be worthy. This is a really big one. I definitely did this. I'll be worthy when I have, X amount of cash in the bank. When I have 10K or 100K cash in the bank, I'll be worthy when I lose, 20 kg. I'll be worthy when I've got that car, I've got that house. You keep putting material possessions on worthiness. And I definitely did that. And then I got it all and went, this doesn't really change anything. I don't want any of this, and I don't want this relationship, and I don't want this house or any of that stuff. So, it's funny when I definitely stacked it and kept putting, when I get the house, when I get the car, when I get the BMW, and I've got my fiance and blah, 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 and I got all that, and I was like, I don't really want this because I'm not in love with him. I don't want to live here. I don't want to marry him. I don't want to have kids with him. I don't care about any of it because I'm really unhappy. So I suppose I honoured my worthiness by breaking up with him and getting out of that and selling the house and all that. So that's a big one. So, your worth is not tied to bank accounts, I think is the big one, that lots of people think that they're not worthy because their bank account, no matter what that number is, you are completely worthy. So please hear that. Things like I'll be worthy when I'm loved properly. That's another one. You got to love yourself. You are worthy, but you got to love yourself. Right. You don't need someone else to love you to be worthy. That's the wrong way around. So you are worthy, and then other people will love you, generally, for who you are. Because you're not trying to be kind of who you think they might want to love. So if you're worthy and secure in your self-worth, you're not trying to be something you're not. Does that make sense? So people will come along and recognise you for who you are and love you for who you are, rather because you have secure self-worth, rather than you kind of bending their reality or bending your own personality and who you are to kind of be someone that you think they would love. Right? So that's a good one. Some other examples are when I'm successful, then I'll be worthy. When I'm successful, I'll be worthy. Lie. And the other big ones, when I'm calm, when I'm healed, when I'm fixed. You're worthy now, dude. Like, you're worthy now. You're worthy now. True. So I live truth. I used to think once everything was stable, I would be worthy. But I'm worthy now. Good, isn't it? Yeah. Worthiness isn't the reward. I think people are searching for it. It's like, just, you are. You already are. You are. You're worthy now. It's the foundation. Probably a lot of people were never given. I definitely wasn't. So how self-worth actually shows up. So let's really dig into this. So no over-explaining. Fuck that, we're not doing that. Not chasing clarity from people who avoid responsibility. We're not doing that. Don't need to do that. And no auditioning for love. If someone doesn't love you, that's okay. Let them go. It's all right. They're not for you. And same with if they don't want to be with you, or if they're ghosting you, coming in and out, like they're not your person. What else can we talk about? Not abandoning yourself to keep the peace. That's a really good one. So that's real top-notch, fucking awesome worthiness. So don't abandon yourself, right? Yes. Being okay with being misunderstood. I think everyone's, I've got to over-explain and that's not true and all this kind of stuff. Like, loads of people are going to misunderstand you. They're going to have their own storyline. Just let them do that. It's fine, whatever. You can't control what other people think. It comes down to that worthiness again. See where I'm going with this? Making decisions out of needing approval. You fucking don't need approval because you're already worthy. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Yep. So you're already worthy. So letting people be disappointed without collapsing. So, you're not going to please everyone. If everyone wants you to come out or do something or, go on a holiday you can't afford, fuck all that shit. Just honour yourself, they're not paying your bills, or if you don't want to go somewhere, don't go. You don't even need to explain. You just say no. Still be graceful about it, but yeah. So self-worth isn't loud, it's calm, it doesn't beg, it doesn't argue, and it doesn't chase. Yeah. So self-worth versus survival mode. We all know about survival mode, don't we? We all fucking know about that one. So survival teaches you to overgive, over-adapt, over-function. Yes. Because you're kind of, I think in survival mode it's pretty manic. You're just fucking trying to survive, right? You're just constantly fighting fires and trying to get out of bed and eat food and, take your vitamins and, but worthiness is quiet and grounded and selective. So survival mode is the trauma kind of response, but worthiness is the healing. I think that's a good metaphor for them. So worthiness is the healed version of you, or the starting to heal version of you. Survival asks, how do I keep this? Where self-worth asks, how does this honour me? So even, okay, let's take it to relationships. So someone that's coming in and out of your life is, running hot and cold, ghosting, just being fucking lame. Rather than why are they doing that to me? Go, why am I putting up with this? Why am I putting up with this? So there we go. There's a good one for you. It's easy to keep choosing familiarity, not alignment. And the big thing is when you kind of come out of survival mode, it's so fucking difficult and it is so hard because it's so familiar. If you've lived in it, 10, 20, 30, some people have been in it a long time. I definitely was. And it just felt normal, kind of to be hyper vigilant and just in it all the time. So your brain is actually quite against it because it's a big change and your brain is hyper aware and goes, no, don't do this because it's weird and we're not used to it, so don't do this. But you need to keep pushing through and just even take one day at a time, but it's really worth it. And you will get there. So, self-worth and worthiness, you don't need to be chosen. Choose yourself. Choose yourself, because you're fucking awesome. You are. So choose yourself. So things like that. You don't need to earn rest, safety, or self-respect. And I think the rest one is massive. I definitely had a problem with that. I just keep pushing, work. But don't do that, rest, because otherwise you burn out and have a mental breakdown and, no one wants that. But yeah, definitely learn to rest, listen to your body. I think Gen X is, you know, my generation are really bad at doing that. So yeah, and keep yourself safe and be kind to yourself. If you had to survive, it makes sense that this is hard. I get it. But nothing's wrong with you. So, nothing's wrong with you. You're adapting, now you're allowed to choose. Which is a good line for you. So, some closing thoughts. Self-worth isn't something you build overnight. It's built every time you don't abandon yourself. So, yeah, it's just one day at a time, 1 week at a time, 1 hour at a time, whatever, or one decision at a time. Just keep choosing yourself. And don't worry about other people's opinions or thoughts. You know, you need to just stay grounded and choose yourself. So, you know, it's also really interesting who benefited when you didn't have self-worth. So you will see changes in people because you're not as available, you're not so willing to be dumped on, you have boundaries, you're not going to do what doesn't make you happy anymore, you're not going to, you know, sit on the phone and listen to someone 5 hours, all their fucking problems, and then them not even ask you how your day was or whatever, or how you're doing. I think we've all had those ones. So, you know, I think just keep going. So I'm going to wrap up there, but I hope you've enjoyed this session and this episode session. Oh yes, I'm your therapist. And I'll see you next week. I don't know what we're going to do next week. We'll do something. And thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. And shout out to Dark Mode for supplying the music. Okay. Bye. Have a good week. Bye.